Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Crichton. Today's FQ is Who Freed the Slaves? For today's Do Now, go back to the end of Lesson 1 to reread your initial hypothesis. If you didn't get to the initial hypothesis on day 1, do that now before beginning today's lesson. Today you're learning about the Emancipation Proclamation, which was an official command Abraham Lincoln made in 1863, about halfway through the Civil War. In the Emancipation Proclamation, Lincoln declared that all enslaved people living in areas controlled by the Confederacy were free. That's a big deal, right? Well, yes and no. Lincoln only freed enslaved people in areas that were not actually under his control, areas that were in open rebellion against him, that had no intention of obeying his commands. He did not free enslaved people living in the border slave states that he actually did control, because he didn't want to lose the loyalty of those states. The immediate impact of the Emancipation Proclamation was not impressive. It freed only 1% of the 4 million enslaved people living in the U.S. But it was still an important turning point because it was a promise that Lincoln would free all enslaved people once he had won the Civil War and defeated the Confederacy. And at the end of the Civil War, Lincoln followed through with his promise. In 1865, Lincoln supported the passage of the 13th Amendment to officially abolish slavery. Soon after, he was shot and killed by a Confederate sympathizer. So according to what we learned, maybe Lincoln deserves some credit for freeing the slaves. But historian Barbara J. Fields wants us to ask, who pushed Lincoln to issue the Emancipation Proclamation and support the 13th Amendment? Who caused him to have this change of heart after he said he was going to bite his lip and stay quiet over the issue of slavery? For today's assignment, complete all of Lesson 5 in your Google Doc. That's it for me. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.